This is a quick review and comparison of the two Casio watches, which are the w217, as well as the f91, which is the classic original one. Now, a couple of the specs I wanted to go over is that the Casio f91w was made in 1989, released in 1989, and the gold color is the f91wm-9A. Now, these both have similar functions to them. They both have alarm, timer, 24/12-hour display, backlight, hourly chime, and calendar functions. In Canada, they're both MSRP'd at $29.99, so the similar price. Although you can get somewhat different prices at Amazon if you catch a sale. The big difference is the size. As you can see, the bands themselves are the W217 is just bigger in all dimensions, and you choose this based upon what you want to wear. This one has a gold coloration to the face, and this is plastic resin, so the paint can scratch off. Stainless steel back, resin strap with, unfortunately, a resin plastic buckle. It is noticeably thinner and lighter. At 21 grams, the size is 38.2, 35.2, and 8.5 millimeters thin. This compares to about 43 by 41 by 10.5, and you can see it just looks thinner and smaller. In fact, it's probably better to overlap it this way. One thing that I did not realize is that on arrival, you can see that the W217 has a little deeper golden tinge to the LCD display. This one also has a little bit of a light brown, goldish type tinge, but I much prefer the one on the W217. Now, I have a 6.5-inch wrist, and I've been using both of these as daily drivers. And I just want to show you how it looks like on my wrist here. One of the things with the F91 is that on my wrist, you can see it, even at 6.5 inches, the strap doesn't have a lot of extra play or space to it. Having said that, it certainly is nice and loud, easily accessible, and legible, although, again, the font is a little bit smaller. One thing you'll notice on this version, all of the lettering seems to be a light tinged golden color to it, which is different from the W217. This is F91. One thing I did not like wearing it, the strap tends to migrate northwards, so that quite often it sits here on the upper part of the wrist there. And I think it's because this strap basically allows you to fold it flat. It's very light, it's somewhat short for me, and I think that results in it shifting around a bit. The W217 seems to have some form of improved strap. If you look at it here, it actually has some, extensions that conform it to your wrist so that it sits better. And so when I put this on, you can see that on the W217, I have a lot more extra strap, and it does tend to sit more comfortably on my wrist. In fact, this one, in order to prevent it from moving around, you have to snug it a little bit tighter, and this is up to you in terms of preferences for how you want to wear your watch. A couple of other improvements on the W217 is that it does have official 50 meters water resistance, which is supposed to be allowable for swimming. It has a much better backlight than the F91, which is continually complained about. We talked about the strap already. And honestly, this color was on sale and a little bit cheaper when I bought it than the F91. I really do like the gold coloration, and I think that it gives it a little bit of a dressier vibe, and I work in an office setting, so I don't mind wearing a basically plastic painted resin watch. I think the resin itself, the plastic's way durable, but the paint will scratch off or chip over time. I also like that it draws attention to the Casio, but again, without being too ostentatious. Other thoughts on it is that although this W217 does have the larger case, it currently does fit better, and I'm thinking of replacing the watch strap with one from one of the higher end models. In fact, I have an extra one. I think that this won't fit because if you look at the lugs, the lug of the W217 is actually, it looks like a little bit wider. But I happen to have W800, extra set of W800 Casio watch straps. And this does look to fit perfectly in the space. So I'm gonna do a separate video showing how to replace it, and I'll give a review once I've had a chance to test that out for you. What else can I say? Other people have talked about this already. I do love the classic Casio look. This harkens back to my childhood days when I had several Casios. I do like the golden color on this one. It actually looks maybe a little bit more darker or bronzy than this one. And I was thinking that if I do get small scratches or chips on this, you can get gold color Sharpies. Now, I'm not sure if the Sharpie would actually damage the paint, but you can get gold color Sharpies. I was thinking of using the gold color Sharpie to maybe fill in any scratches or scuffs over time. And if I ever do that, I will give you a update on that, hopefully. One final note that I don't love is that this glass is plastic. It's resin crystal, they call it there, but basically it's plastic. And you can see it is a tiny bit raised. You can feel it with your fingernail from the base. So it will be a little bit prone to scratching. The one on the F91 seems less raised. It's still, you can still feel it, but it just seems closer to the base of the face there. The other thing that you will note is that if you look at the build lines on this one, you can see a casting line here, about 3/4 way into the case on the side view. Again, not very noticeable, but I do like the F91 does not seem to have that until the very bottom, the casting line. Overall, my gut feeling is that I like the W217 more, and I'll use that as my go-to daily. I have worn them both at times, and if you're going to be wearing a dress shirt, I will say that with the full sleeves extended, this would slide better underneath the shirt. So I do think that was one of the advantages of the F91. Okay, these are just my thoughts on the F91 in gold color, and I think that they're both great deals, especially if you can get them on sale. Unfortunately, in Canada, most of our retailers no longer stock Casio, so we're buying from mainly Amazon, I believe. Okay, hopefully this helps.